The video begins with Sylvia talking to Karine, saying that Danilo is not prepared to meet Jamil. We then see the scene change and Danilo appear asking why Sylvia brought that girl to the meeting of the two. Sylvia responds saying that since he did not know her daughter, she brought her so that they could get to know each other. Danilo says he ended up forgetting, and we see once again the scene change and Danilo say that he does not like a child and that he had already told his girlfriend this more than once. With that we see another cut and now we are following Karine teaching Jamil, asking her to connect the letters to the drawings whose name begins with the letter. Jamil perks up and starts to solve the problem and we see her mother arrive asking her sister, Karine, if the clothes she is wearing are good. Karine replies that her sister is beautiful. Sylvia thanks her and turns her attention to her daughter, asking if she is studying with her aunt and if she is enjoying it. Karine then asks if Sylvia will meet her boyfriend dressed like that. Jamil then asks if she can go with her mother. Sylvia responds by saying that she will go out with her boyfriend and that she is very happy because it is a special day for them, and then answers her daughter saying that on that specific day she thinks it is better not to. That at another time they will be able to get to know each other. She then asks Karine to take care of her daughter and that she won't be long. Karine then tries to confirm with her sister if she's sure it won't take long to get back and why not take her daughter for a walk and meet her boyfriend at once. We then see the beginning scene happen again. The mother of the two sisters appears and asks if Sylvia's boyfriend does not know that she is a single mother. We then see Sylvia try to disengage by saying that he does know that she is a single mother. The mother of the two cuts Sylvia's speech saying that Karine has no obligation to take care of Jamil and that from that day she will have to take Jamil along wherever she goes. Because no one has an obligation to take care of the daughter she brought into the world, the mother then turns her attention to Karine, telling her to stop being a beast and accept her sister's requests. It is not her obligation. She then tells Sylvia not to doubt that she will appear pregnant again in a while and that it will be they, her mother and sister, who will have to take care of the child just like Jamil. Sylvia's mother states that if she does not change, she will no longer recognize her as a daughter and that she will kick her and Jamil out of the house. That if this Danilo wants to stay with her, he has to stay with Sylvia and her daughter. She then talks again to Karine to get up and go clean the house. Karine gets up and takes the broom from her mother's hand and leaves the room. Sylvia then talks to Jamil saying that she has changed her mind and that she will take her along to the meeting. The child says that he will behave and that he will only change his clothes so that they can go. They hug each other and the scene cuts. We see the two of them in the street playing while waiting for Danilo. Sylvia then sees him from afar and warns her daughter. He then appears heading towards the two with a heart-shaped balloon and a stuffed animal. Sylvia then hugs him asking if everything is okay and gives him a kiss. Once again we see one of the scenes from the beginning of the video, Danilo asking why Sylvia brought that girl to the meeting of the two. And she replied that since they never met, she brought her daughter. Her boyfriend then says he can't stand the child and Sylvia knows this. He gives it to Sylvia, who thanks him and hands the stuffed animal to his daughter. Danilo gets upset and tells them to go sit down. We then see him going to a grocery store to buy the chocolate and returning to meet the two of them. Jamil spots him coming from afar and tells his mother that he bought chocolate. Danilo then hands the bar to Sylvia saying it is her favorite. Sylvia thanks him and Jamil soon asks where hers is and her mother agrees. Just as in the initial cuts, Danilo says he has forgotten. Sylvia then says that he will share his chocolate with her. We see the scene change with Jamil calling her mother to play. Sylvia then denies, saying that she has already played with her daughter and for her to play a little alone. In this, Danilo raises his voice and calls the girl boring and tells her to go play and stop pestering the two. That he doesn't need to talk like that to his daughter, and then tells Jamil to go, that she saw her taking care of her from afar. Jamil then goes to the toys and Danilo already starts complaining, saying that the date they set her up so that he could enjoy his girlfriend staying a while with her. And she went and brought her daughter. He then says that Jamil is ugly and cathartic, that he wants to give attention and affection to his girlfriend and only to her. That when he saw Sylvia with his daughter he was completely discouraged by the situation. Jamil seems to have hurt her, so comes running towards her mother and hugs her, which once again stokes the ire of Danilo, who tells her to go play and stop filling the bag. Sylvia once again asks her daughter to go play so she can talk to her boyfriend. We then see Jamal playing, but soon returns to Danilo saying that at least to give order to his daughter Sylvia paid. He once again says that he can't stand child, that child is the thing he hates the most and that he has a rage of being around a child. Sylvia asks him to be calm so that they can enjoy the moment and asks what he has prepared special for that day. Danilo replies that it is a special surprise and that he is sure that Sylvia will like it, but that she will only know at night. We then see Jamal watching her mother and her boyfriend kiss and she runs out and crying, and then we see a man walking who upon seeing Jamal calls her daughter and asks what she is doing there. Jamal then hugs her father and he asks his daughter what she is doing there alone. She then says she is not alone, that her mother is there. He asks there where and she points saying that she is more her boyfriend. He says he doesn't believe it and calls his daughter to go along. The scene shows Danilo and Sylvia kissing seriously and Sylvia asks Danilo to stop, that there is no place for that kind of thing. Sylvia then realizes that her daughter is no longer there, but Danilo tells her to ignore it. Sylvia then says that Jamal can't be her daughter and begins to despair, and her boyfriend tries to calm her down by saying that she must just be joking. Sylvia then gets up and asks Danilo to help her search, even though he insists that Jamal must just be playing around the park. He then stresses out but gets up to accompany his girlfriend. Sylvia can't find Jamal and despairs even more. When Danilo tells her again to ignore the disappearance, she gets angry and raises her voice to him and says that she is his daughter, so that he does not speak like that. She then starts screaming Jamal's name. Sylvia then turns around and tells Danilo that she thought he loved her, but not even worrying about her daughter's disappearance he is. Danilo responds and says that he has to worry only about her and not about his daughter, that the daughter is hers and that the one who should worry about Jamal is Sylvia and the girl's father, that he can't stand children and that he has already told her about it. We see Jamal and her father finding their Sylvia, at which point she tells him to release Jamal and hugs her daughter and asks if she is okay. Miller then says that she only shows concern now, that she found their daughter crying in the corner and that Sylvia was very irresponsible as a mother. She then looks at him angrily and he cuts in. Says that luckily it was the father who found the daughter, that if it was someone else they could have lost their daughter. That Sylvia has no responsibility to her own daughter, that she can pass the guard to him who will take care of her without problem, that he finds their daughter crying in a lost corner as she clings to another man. Danilo then asks if Miller is telling the truth, why Jamal is messing up his life, and tells him to take the girl away to pay attention so that maybe so she doesn't keep crying in the corners, just like he found her. That since he's the father he could support that way. Sylvia incredulously calls Danilo and asks if this was a way of speaking, that she believes that he loved her and that someday he would accept Jamal, that his attitude is horrible. How can he talk like that about a child? Miller then tells Danilo to shut up, that he may not even like a child, but that to conquer a woman who is already a mother he first needs to conquer the children, who knows the kind of man he is, and tells him to leave. That he just wants Sylvia but doesn't want the daughter that comes along, that he won't leave his ex-wife with a man like him. Sylvia calls out to him, but Miller soon starts talking, who doesn't believe his ex left their daughter alone in a park that size because of a beast man like that. He then asks if she has any idea what she did, that if it wasn't for him, the girl's father, having found her but another man, what would have happened, that he is very disappointed in her. Sylvia lowers her head and hugs Jamal. Miller then continues to talk, that if Sylvia doesn't take care of their daughter right, he'll take custody for himself, because from what she's seeing she wants to keep running after man, that there are men who only want the woman and do not want the sons and daughters who come with them. Sylvia then angrily responds by saying that he cannot do that to her, that by law the son must stay with his mother, that he won't be able to get Jamal out of her. For him to get that idea out of his head, Jamal is his daughter and will stay with her. Miller tries to de-escalate the situation by asking Sylvia for understanding, whether or not he is nervous. That he knows that the two of them didn't work out because they were both too young, but that she at least takes care of their daughter. She doesn't deserve this kind of treatment. She deserves attention, affection, and respect. For Sylvia to do her part, that he promises he will do his. That if they didn't work out, at least one good thing they did, that was Jamal to take care of the girl. Sylvia understands and apologizes to her ex. How she can be so silly as to allow a man to treat her daughter like that. She then apologizes to Jamal. And he goes on to say that Miller can be sure that from that moment on she will dedicate herself to the utmost for their daughter. And once again asks forgiveness for what she did. That he doesn't know what was going through his head, that he shouldn't have done that, and that he won't allow it to happen anymore. That she will be careful who she puts next to her daughter. The world is full of evil people, that Danilo already made it very clear that he did not like children and that she does not know why she was still with him. And that some people in the world do not even say that they do not like the child, only do evil. She then thanks her once again that he made her open her mind and asks for another vote of confidence, that this was a mistake and an oversight, that she didn't realize that Jamal had moved so far, that it wasn't out of malice, and to take advantage of the fact that the two of them are there for both of them to take time to play with their daughter. She deserves it after what she's been through. Miller says it's okay, that it was just anger talking, asks her to be calm, not to rush to find a stepfather for Jamal, who one day she will find. That just as he will one day find a stepmother for her, so will Sylvia. Then Sylvia begins a narration. No woman should submit to relationships like that, who did not accept her daughter, who in the first place will always come the son, and that if the man does not accept, he does not really love her, he does not really respect her, and that he must keep in mind that he must choose someone of character above all because this person is living with his family.